So this is an interesting question and one that's pretty close to my heart. Out of the 13 years that I served, I spent 6 years in the Air Force recruiting service as a recruiter. And I'm going to go ahead and echo some of the sentiments that my fellow recruiting badge wearer has already stated. As a recruiter in the field, I can attest that most of my colleagues at the time felt the same way. One of the things that prohibit us to reaching our audience in a manner in which we can, showcase what the Air Force and the military life is really like is twofold. One is the administrative burden that's levied against our recruiters. The administrative burden on the front end of the recruitment process is pretty substantial. So if we can figure out a way to reduce that and offload that and some of the back end of the recruitment process, I think that would help out a lot. Because what that would then in turn allow the recruiters to do is actually spend more time in their communities and connecting with our young Americans out there. Rather than sitting hours behind a desk trying to fill out reports and different things, they can actually be in the schools, be in the communities, be where these young Americans are. And I can tell you as a young kid from the west side of Chicago where there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities growing up, seeing a recruiter there was just a game changer for me. I didn't really know too much about the service. An Air Force recruiter came up and told me that, hey, we don't just fly planes, all right? We have a lot of different opportunities that are out there and there's a lot of benefits. Another thing I'll echo is many young Americans are deemed unqualified for service within the military, and the majority of that comes from medical standards that are levied out there. And I feel that there is a spectrum out there. As mentioned, many kids do, especially nowadays, suffer from anxiety and depression and other mental health conditions. And I think taking individuals on a case-by-case basis and using a spectrum to determine qualification for entry would definitely help our recruitment standards there. And then again, freeing up the recruiters to be in their community, engaging with people and showing them, hey, we're more than just a person in a uniform. We have families, we have friends, we come from our communities that we recruit in, and being able to showcase that and by levying that administrative burden on the front end would definitely help. Finally, one of my other co-contestants had mentioned, what happens after service. I think one thing to really look at is when folks are getting out, especially our junior enlisted individuals and our young officers, when they're transitioning out, we need to do more than just a TAP program. We need to be engaged with them at least a year before separation and really giving them a path for success and determining on whether that's education, entrepreneurship, employment, what have you, that they are set up for success. When they return to communities, they can speak to the successes not only in the military, but also that the service has provided for them post-military. So those are just some of my ideas, and Secretary of Defense Austin, I hope that you're listening there and that these can be considered in future preparations.